Morin is a grandson of Tahltan ancestor artists. Morin's artistic offerings can be organized around 4 themes. Articulating community knowing and understanding the creative agency power of the Indigenous body. The work takes place in galleries, in community, in collaboration, and on the land. All of the work is informed by dreams, ancestors, family members, and performance art as a research methodology. Initially trained in lithography, Morin's 20 years of artistic practice moves from printmaking to poetry to button blanket making to installation drum making to beadwork to performance art. Throughout his 20-year exhibition in Making History, Morin has focused upon his matrilineal inheritances in homages to the matriarchal structuring of the Tahltan Nation, and prioritizes cross-ancestral collaborations as a strategy for interrogating and dismantling colonialism. Morin was longlisted for the Brink and Sobey Awards in 2013 and 2014, respectively. In 2016, Morin received the Haudenosaunee Foundation Award for Outstanding Achievement by a Canadian mid-career artist. Morin is working as the Graduate Program Director of the Interdisciplinary Masters in Art, Media and Design Program, IAMD, at OCAD-U, Ontario College of Art and Design University, and the advisor to the VP Academic on Indigenous Knowledge, Practice and Production. Morin currently holds a tenured appointment in the Faculty of Arts at the Ontario College of Art and Design University in Toronto. And Peter is the son of Janelle Craig, Crow Clan, Tahltan Nation, and Pierre Morin, French-Canadian. Thank you, Peter, for being here. Hooks down.
Holy. Thank you so much, Tania. Thank you so much to everyone who's offered their hands and their heart and their labor to this shared space. Thank you to the ancestors of these territories. Thank you to the ancestors of all of yous who are joining us to be present here with each other. We all have ancestors and they all want to be proud of us, I'm sure of it. Yeah, and the ones that don't want to be proud of us, we don't need them. I also want to say that this space and these territories have been very giving and generous to me and to my life, and many knowledge keepers like Jeanette Armstrong, Richard Armstrong, and have really offered so much love and care to folks like me who are guests here, who are travelers to these territories. And I have always felt loved by the land here and by the Nsilix people, Secwepemc people. I have a really blessed life. I totally want to acknowledge that. Also my art sister Tania Willard and my sister Michael here, and also my family who are actually in the room too, Thama, Colleen and Kitasu, the beautiful chance to be present with you in this way, and also this beautiful moment where I get to share a spot with my cousin Thama. These things don't happen, often, if at all. So I'm really honored and grateful for that chance to be. I feel like my shirt's dirty. but I'm just here to make jokes. I'm really a failed comedian. That's what I am. And I have a great mother. Her name is Janelle. She occupies a lot of my time, and I'm so grateful for all of the chance to spend with her. She's done such a good job for me and for my siblings and for our community. And I'm going to talk about something that I've been working on with her. Also, we have a beautiful father. His name's Pierre. He's from a small place called Thetford Mines, Quebec. And he turned 21 and was like, I gotta get the hell out of here, and his buds were like, we got some jobs, they're guaranteed jobs, and they're gonna pay for the plane ticket or train ticket. You want to come? So he just kind of went with them. And he went from Thetford Mines all the way to Cassiar, BC, from one asbestos mining town to another asbestos mining town, and he met our mom, you know. And one of the things, don't tell him I shared this because he probably would be very shy about it. But he, Cassiar was a mining town, a built community, and built by the mining company. And they had, housing, they had rec center, cafeteria, all that stuff. And he was sitting there with my uncle Scott, who is my mom's older brother, and they had been making friends, right? And my mom was working in the cafeteria. She is trained as a chef, and she brought out the food, right? And he said, he's 23 at the time, 24 at the time, and he says, I don't know who that is, but I sure want her to bring out my hamburger, And then 53 years later, they're still together, My Uncle Scott tried to set them up, and what happened was is Uncle Scott, he's trying to be, he's trying to do this thing with, and he says to his sister, my mom, well, I got a friend here. He wants to meet you, and Mom says, well, who is it? And well, it's Pierre, and she says, that old guy. Anyway, I have had a chance to be on this stage a few times, and today I just want to take a chance and do something a little different. I want to start by also saying, my life. I work at making my life. My artwork is a part of that, and how I express my being in relation to use, to the land. Everything is interconnected. Absolutely everything is. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and all of it has to connect, or it just doesn't work. And I've been walking. Our family has been walking alongside of our mother, who has had a passenger named Alzheimer's for over 10 years, and our family is a family which also has generational Alzheimer's. So this is a generational walking with this passenger called Alzheimer's. And it's important to say that because I'm going to be a part of the generation that walks forward with that passenger, right? And I'm not saying this because this is my crutch. I'm saying this because this is, how I'm trying to be in the world. I'm trying to understand how memory works, how cultural memory works, and also how those future generations can include me or my nieces and nephews who also might be walking with this passenger called Alzheimer's, right? And also Western culture does a thing, which is, if you have any sort of difference, as we know, if you have any sort of difference, you get excluded. It's funny how people with dementia and Alzheimer's often get forgotten. So our mom, this is what I wanted to share with you. So, I had a show at the Smithers Art Gallery. It was 20 years of my artistic offerings, but specifically artistic offerings which my mom helped me to do, right? And it was a really beautiful chance to share this work with her, to also put her name on a wall, and to make people understand that she's been a cultural practitioner of Tahltan Nation knowledge for my entire life, for lifetimes. And that I was only one person of many. If we all had an art show with her, it would be, it would fill the Louvre. And I'm going to say this too. I'm kind of at this place in my life where, in my making work, in my making life, where I'm not totally sure what I'm doing. That's the different part, right? Because you get very trained to do things, and then your muscle memory just kind of takes over, right? But listen, this thing, your muscle memory takes over, And what happens is you kind of seem to forget. You're just kind of, oh, thank you, yes, thank you, I appreciate you so much right now. And also, yeah, it's just falling asleep a lot.
Oh, we can change that.
Okay, and like you all are falling asleep. Is he ever going to get to the point? Your muscle memory takes over, and you know there's a use to that, right? And especially if you've experienced any trauma in your life, right? You know, muscle memory becomes a very interesting way to feel safe, right? And so our mom teaches us, my sisters, my brother, my father, my nieces and nephews, her grandkids, she teaches us how to be okay with not knowing, right? And I also was kind of very interested in this moment. So I was home with her doing relief work. So our dad was the primary caregiver for a lot of years, and so I would be, you know, the pandemic afforded me a chance to go home, be there for a month, be the main caregiver, so Dad could take a break, right? And then I'm in there with her, and we're watching TV. It was great watching TV with her because she forgot how, you know, she forgot the movie Ghost, right? It was great. And she would say, we'd be watching Ghost, and she'd say, this is a really great show. And then she'd immediately say, does your dad know this is how good this is? And one of the things I was able to do in my practice, and artists, that I really believe this, and I see this in the previous offerings from such strong folks, Marielle and Michael and Tania, that art is a thinking. Right? It's a way of thinking, and that's shifting of engagement, right? Of how our bodies can be in relationship to space, time, other bodies, land. So one of the things I did was I made portraits of pillows, which featured portraits of our family, so our mom could be surrounded by faces that love her all the time. And so we're there and we're watching Ghostbusters, and she lifts up my pillow and she starts singing the song. And I'm sitting right there and we're watching Ghostbusters. Peter, Peter, I miss you already. I wish you were coming home. I wish you were coming home. And I thought, that's a beautiful song. She made that song. She has, 10 years deep into an Alzheimer's journey, and she made a song, and I couldn't let it go, right? So, and I've been doing this thing where I became a time traveler in my performance art practice because I wanted to understand better what she was experiencing on the daily. That's why I did that, And so one of the things that was important to me was that song as a cultural producer, right? We need to acknowledge that, we need to lift it up. So it was, and it is, one of the first songs written in our language, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I thought we're gonna move that song into our Tahltan language, right? And that Tahltan language, and our community and our family would be able to see and recognize our mom as an active cultural producer, so that no one could forget her, right? And that's my kind of a subtle kind of thing that I'm kind of doing right now, is I don't want my mom to be forgotten, ever. So I've been using my privilege of being on stages like this, as being a maker, as somebody who's making offerings to all the things we make offerings to, that we could see her deeply and we'll never forget her. So what that means, I'm going to show you 2 videos and I'm going to sing a song and then I'm going to be done. So this short video is in collaboration. I made it in collaboration with Isaac King. Oh, no network. Nice. And all the beautiful things are happening right now. Oh, it says it's on. Try again. Okay, refresh. course, I should also say, I lost my glasses, so these are old glasses, which are not the right prescription. I am really old. It's great. So this was from the exhibition. Her name is Azusa. It is based on Tahltan's story of the Saskia Cho finds the light. But I started to think about not what happens after the light is found. Where does the darkness go? Right? But also this is kind of what I was thinking about with my mom's brain and all the folks who had dementia and Alzheimer's. You look at the brain scans and it's like the scans are returning to darkness. But that thing that is going on is not an ending, right? It's a transformation. That's what my mom has taught me. And I've been hanging out with a lot of folks with dementia and Alzheimer's at the care home in BC. So they teach me this. And these are Saskia feathers from Yukon, Dawson City, Yukon. They were gifted to me by Bo Young, Chinese-Canadian artist. Okay. wish you were coming home. So, it's a beautiful song, right? And then what happens when a Siskia finds the light? He or she or they share the light, right? And so what happens now? There's the darkness. And so part of what happens is the Siskia drops the darkness back to the land. You know, that's part of this kind of idea, you know? And the feathers are dancing there because the brain is still active. It's still an active thing. But Western culture, Western European, the medicalization of indigenous bodies would maybe say that the brain is dying, right? Anyway, so there's a lot there. There's probably a lot more to talk about there. But so one of the things I decided was I wanted to move the song into the language. So I worked with Ensini Adonama and Galina Lux to move the song into the language. And part of this thing, like, you know, so we're talking about mom and talking about mom's experience and talking about, you know, cultural practitioners who are experiencing a transformation of their bodies in these environments. You know, that's part of it, right? But you also have to offer that to the community of our communities, right? So that these songs can be part of who we are for future beings, like Nadi, you know, and the photographer dance, you know, that Makiel shared with us earlier. And so my sneakily, everything's sneaky with me. Anyway, so what I did was I tried to make this exhibition. We made it. Her name is Atutsa, Smithers Art Gallery. We did a performance just so that I could sing the song in the community so that people could hear it, and if they wanted to, they could actually sing it as well. Our family wants to gift this song to people who want to sing it, right? To share it. This is the first song in our community written by anyone, really, as far as I know. 100 years, maybe? 90 years? But don't quote me on that. So I'm going to sing the song to you in the language, and then there's a part 3. I hope that doesn't fall down. Atutsa, atutsa, katindagi diluye, dulin kima klandinda, dulin kima klandinda, atutsa, atutsa, katindagi diluye, dulin kima klandinda, dulin kima klandinda, atutsa, atutsa, I miss you already. I wish you were coming home. I wish you were coming home. Okay, part 3. So I started by talking a little bit about how I make my work, and really it's like how I'm alive. I want to say it that way today. And everything is interconnected, interwoven. Everything feeds into itself, and my life is a giant spider web, maybe. And I have the privilege of working with so many incredible people. It's a privilege, and it's my life's work right now. But tomorrow I might become a milliner, so Who knows? But one of the things that I'm working on is a collaboration with Marie Cote, who I've been working with since 2016. She wanted to make an album, so she made an album, right? And in collaboration with great folks like Zia Tabasan, Navid, and I can't remember Navid's last name right now, and Olivier, I can't remember Olivier's last name either. It's bad. Anyway, Marie had this beautiful idea. She's not a performance artist, but you know, when you get around performance art, like, you know, performance artists can be a bit bossy. I'm a bit bossy, actually. So Marie started performing with me, and she was thinking, your mom's song is so important and so beautiful and so moving. I had a dream about singing the song with my body and with my gestures. And that led her to hand talking, Indian hand talking. And then she started doing all of this research, and she and I started working together on what does that actually look like? What does that mean? You're not Indigenous person. How do we do this so that you're not appropriating expression? She did a lot of research. And then we also connected with this incredible person, Melanie Code, who is a specialist in Indian hand talk in America. And Melanie also joined the circle to teach us the song in the hand talking. And it's such an important kind of continual transformation of this song offering that our mom gave to me, that I'm trying to share with you with respect. So we're going to play the video. So the future of this includes Maria and I working through this series of body speaking, right? And this is also important as a part of our mom's, what mom continues to teach us. You know, actually, she's moving away from spoken language now and moving more into hand gestures, you know. Hand talking, you know. And Melanie Code shared with Marie and I that Indian hand talking, it was such a strong language. 80% of American Sign Language finds its roots in Indian hand talking. That's huge. It's a huge thing, right? And one of the things that Melanie shared with Marie and I is that when, you know, those kids got stolen and forced into Indian boarding school and Indian residential school, lots of them would also be very fluent in talking with their hands. So not only were our relations punished for being themselves, and for their cultural expression and ways of being and their power. We often focus on the voice, the spoken, but these kids were also speaking with their hands and speaking with their bodies at the same time and being punished for that as well. So that's me. I really appreciate your time and space and energy. And thank you for making a space for our mom to be here with us. Madu Sukasemla.